As the U.S. continues to put economic sanctions against Russia, North Carolina state lawmakers are worried about taxpayer money that's currently invested in that country. Queen City News anchor Ryan Kruger joins us live with the story. And Ryan, how much money are we talking about here?
Yeah, it's quite a bit. It's a little more than $90 million from the state's pension fund, along with the state's supplemental retirement plans that are invested in assets that are either based in or tied to Russia.
North Carolina leaders say Tar Heel taxpayers should have a way to fight back if Russia tries to seize American money invested there. A Russian newspaper reported this week that the Russian government is considering nationalizing foreign companies that plan to pull out of that country. That could include companies like McDonald's and Microsoft, among others. But North Carolina Treasurer Dale Folwell is worried that taxpayer money invested in Russia could also be lost. In a statement, he urged Congress to give taxpayers a way to get that money back in court. We need to punish Putin and his cronies for pension and investment losses, Folwell said. North Carolina taxpayers and those who teach, protect, and otherwise serve should not suffer that burden. This week, state lawmakers unanimously passed a resolution calling on the U.S. Congress to make it easier for state pension funds to sue to try to recoup any money lost if Russia, in fact, seizes the money. White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki says the Biden administration is aware of the threats from the Russian government.
If they were to take those actions, I'm certain there would be steps we would take, but nothing has happened at this point in time.
She went further on Twitter, writing any lawless decision by Russia to seize the assets of these companies will ultimately result in even more economic pain for Russia. It will compound the clear message to the global business community that Russia is not a safe place to invest and do business.
Now, that $90 million that we mentioned, certainly it's a lot of money, but it actually makes up less than 0.5% of the total money that North Carolina has in its state pension and retirement funds. Even still, state treasurer says there are more than 3,000 state and local pension funds all across the country that have investments in Russia.
Ryan, thank you for that.